bago tayo umusad sa iba pang malalaking balita ngayong araw ho ng Huwebes, kapiling natin sa ating linya ng komunikasyon ang isa sa mga counsel for victims dyan sa International Criminal Court kaugnay ng kaso nitong si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Kapiling ho natin si Attorney Nery Colmenares. Magandang umaga po ang pagbati namin mula dito sa Bombo Radio Philippines. By the way, si Bombo Dennis Hamito po ito. And together with me, si Bombo Jaira Hangayo, tayo'y napapakinggan at napapanood sa pamamagitan ng ating lahat ng digital channels ng Bombo Radio Philippines. Welcome to the program, Attorney Nery.
Hi, good morning. Magandang umaga po, Bombo, Dennis at Jaira at sa lahat po ng viewers ninyo.
Kami ho ay napatawag sapagkat malapit na ho pala, no? 22 yung nakatakdang schedule para doon sa International Criminal Court sa isa sa mga sensitibong usapin na pagpapasyahan ng International Tribunal. Ano ho. May communication na po ba sa inyo from the International Criminal Court ukol doon sa ilalabas ho na pasya para naman sa issue ng jurisdiction at yung resulta na rin siguro ng confirmation of charges, Attorney?
Yes, well, the ICC has informed everyone that magkakaroon nga ng desisyon ang appeals chamber sa April 22 hinggil doon sa panibagong challenge ni President Duterte sa jurisdiction ng ICC dahil nag-withdraw na siya. No? So, we are expecting the ICC to, of course, issue the decision, live streamed yan, uh, parang 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. dito sa Pilipinas ang pag-announce niyan. Hindi na kami pumunta, Bumbo Dennis, at ang mahal kasi ng pamasahe. Ang hirap ng dito sa amin, unlike President Duterte na kaya siyang dalawin ng pamilya niya at mga abogado niya anytime dahil may pera naman sila. Ang mga kaanak ng biktima, hindi nagre-raise lang kami ng funds kung sakaling makapunta kami doon. So hopefully ma-affirm naman ang jurisdiction at magkaroon na ng trial. Siguro at the end of this year, magkakaroon na ng trial.
Mm. Pero ang concern lang po natin dito, Attorney, hindi kaya makaapekto ho yung kanilang non-appearance, yung panig ho ng mga biktima or hindi naman talaga ito obligado para ho sa ganong proseso nitong International Criminal Court?
Not really. Pwede namang si President Duterte in fact is also waiving his hindi naman siya pupunta rin doon sa hearing. Siya nga nandun na nakatira. Hindi na siya pupunta. Kami naman pupunta naman kami sana. Yun nga lang ang resources ay hindi enough, no. Kailangan pa naming humingi ng tulong sa mga advocates ng hustisya sa mga sumusuporta sa kasong ito. At para naman makapunta kami doon ay hindi ganun laki ang pondo namin or ng mga gustong tumulong kaya hirap kami. Pero kung may trial na pupunta kami, magre-raise talaga kami ng funds para makapunta yung mga kaanak ng biktima man lang, kahit ilan man lang makapunta doon para mapanood yung trial ng tao na tingin nila ang responsable sa pagkarumal-dumal at walang awa na pagpatay sa kanilang mga kaanak.
Mm. Okay. Ang schedule po ba ng release ng ruling ay posibleng may pagpaliban? Dito kasi sa Pilipinas, kahit naka-schedule na ng korte, minsan nauurong pa, no ho? At sa tingin po ninyo, ano yung mga factors na maaaring magpaantala kung sakasakali, kung meron man, na mga ganitong rason sa International Criminal Court, Attorney?
Nagkaroon ng mga pag-urong dati, for example, yung confirmation of charges hearing nung isang taon ay naurong yan, September 23 dapat yan. Pero nangyari na yan nitong taon na kasi nagfa-file ng motion sila President Duterte na ihinto o kaya i-defer o kaya walang jurisdiction. Daming motion siguro mga 7 yun yung nabilang ko. Ah, para ma-delay ang confirmation at ma-delay ang trial. Yun nga ang sabi namin alam mo kung nakakulong ka, gusto mo speedy trial lalo na kung inosente ka siyempre. Kasi gusto mo matapos na to para ma-release ka na Pero si President Duterte baliktad dinidelay niya ang trial at alam niya na kung sakaling magkaroon naman ng trial talaga, wala siyang ebidensya, Bombo Dennis, na ma-present sa ICC para sabihin na wala siyang kinalaman sa drug war. So, kaya niya ina-avoid ang trial, unlike sa mga inosenteng nakakulong na hinihingi ang right to speedy trial. Ito naman baliktad eh. Dinidelay niya ng dinidelay kasi alam niya pag nagsimula na ang trial, malakas ang ebidensya ng prosekusyon at walang ebidensya talaga. Kahit sino pang pinakamagaling na abogadong nakikinig ngayon, anong ebidensyang ipapalabas mo sa trial para sabihin walang kinalaman si President Duterte sa drug war at sa killings? So that is, for me, yun na yun. Ngayon, ang last hurdle na lang itong jurisdiction at kung pumasa ito, magkakaroon na ng trial.
Mm. Okay, by the way, attorney, may ilang punto din na nais maitanong. Ang aking katandim dito si Bombo Jaira. Bombo Jai, with your question.
Good thing na na-mention natin, attorney, yung tackle natin about sa delay sa pag-defer nga ni former President Duterte sa kampo ng mga biktima sa inyong paningin. Paano yung magiging epekto nito ng mga pending motions and jurisdictional challenges sa depensa kaugnay nga dito sa pagkaantala ng kaso, attorney?
Well, delayed eh. Na-delay na nga actually yan, yung confirmation of charges na banggit ko nga. Ano. In fact, yung investigation, even the investigation itself was delayed way back in 2021, no, when the President Duterte, the Philippines, the President Duterte was then the president. When they submitted they submitted before the ICC on November 10, 2021, an opposition or a request for a deferral of the investigation. That was 2021. The investigation started only in 2023 because the prosecution suspended the investigation after their request. So for us, that was almost 2 years of delay of the investigation just because President Duterte submitted a request for deferral at that time, no? So, in fact, by the way, I'd like to add the issue of jurisdiction. The President Duterte continues to say that the ICC has no jurisdiction over his case or the situation in the Philippines precisely because the Philippines has withdrawn. We argue, and we hope the appeals chamber will find jurisdiction here. We argue that the ICC has jurisdiction on two grounds. First is under Article 127 of the Rome Statute, which says that it does not prejudice any matter which was already under consideration before the effectivity of the withdrawal. The withdrawal was on March 16, 2019. The preliminary examination has been going on since 2018. So for us, that already confirms the jurisdiction. But there is a second ground, and that is the admission of the Philippines of the jurisdiction of the ICC, even after the withdrawal, when it submitted the November 10, 2021 letter requesting the ICC, not just the prosecutor. It addressed the letter to the International Criminal Court to defer investigation. That is a recognition of the jurisdiction of the ICC. And secondly, it even filed an opposition as late as September 8, 2022, opposing the investigation of the prosecutor, and it filed that opposition before the pretrial chamber. That is an admission, a recognition of the jurisdiction of the ICC because they sent it long after the withdrawal. So that is called under international law as forum prorogatum, or subsequent practice under the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties. In these rules under international law, you will claim later that the court has no jurisdiction, but your actions have shown that you respect, you recognize the court's jurisdiction. And under the Rome Statute, Article 19 of the Rome Statute, it says that any party like President Duterte, you have to raise that question of challenge of jurisdiction in the earliest opportunity. It didn't. It didn't raise it in 2021. It did not raise it in 2022. And it only raised the issue of jurisdiction on the ground that it has withdrawn in 2023. So for us, there is already a recognition by the Philippines and President Duterte of the jurisdiction of the ICC. Note, they will say, well, it was an act of the Philippine state, not the act of President Duterte to recognize jurisdiction. Oh, we argue. Well, President Duterte argues that according to the official act of the Philippine state of withdrawing from the ICC as his defense, he's saying, look, the Philippine state has withdrawn, therefore, you have no jurisdiction over me. Now, he cannot say that, it's the act of a Philippine state of submitting that letter, of submitting that opposition. No. He is bound by the act of the Philippine state, especially in 2021, he was the president, and in 2022, it was his successor was the president. So, parang he cannot claim, that act, I can use that for my defense, but this act, it cannot be used against me because it's the act of the Philippine state. So, for these reasons, we believe that the ICC has jurisdiction not only under Article 127, but as an admission of jurisdiction under forum prorogatum and or admission of jurisdiction by subsequent practice under the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties. So para sa amin, napakalakas ng argumento na may jurisdiction ng ICC, and we're hoping na ma-confirm na yan sa April 22 para anyway, trial lang naman po ang hinihingi ng mga kaanak ng biktima dito na sana may trial man lang para may panahon kami, may oportunidad kami na mahain naman ang kwento kung paano walang awa nung pinatay ang aming kaanak. Ngayon kasi ang narrative ni President Duterte, kawawa naman ako Pero kung tingnan mo yung kawawa na ginawa niya, yung walang awa na ginawa niya sa libo-libong kaanak ng biktima, mas matindi yung patay yun Talagang so sa amin, we're really hoping may trial na by the end of this year para naman makapag-present ng ebidensya ang mga kaanak ng biktima. Kung ma-acquit, wala tayong magawa dyan. Kung ma-convict, iyon na yung hiningi ng biktima. At least may trial man lang na mangyari.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Attorney. Para sa kabatiran ng lahat, Attorney, ganito rin ba yung mangyayari sa co-perpetrators sa oras na ipaaresto na rin sila ng International Criminal Court? Magdudulot po ba ng delays sa main case ang kanilang mga apila, any motion, and even yung kanilang petition, Attorney?
Alam mo, ang ICC, grabe ang recognition sa sa due process na karapatan ng akusado Jaira. So I'm sure kung maghingi sila na i-defer emotion, papakinggan mo na talaga ng ICC yan. Para naman sa amin na kaanak ng biktima, ang tagal na nito. 2016, 2017 pa pinatay yung mga kaanak ng biktima. 2026 na. Tapos pasimula pa lang ang trial. So, yeah, we're going to oppose it, of course. Kaya lang, syempre, papakinggan niya ng ICC. Alam niyo yung ICC, hindi nila ma-charge na biased o politically motivated Kasi susundin niya ang rules niya wala siyang pakialam kay Duterte man yan o Marcos. Hindi naman nga kilala ng mga ICC yung mga politiko dito sa Pilipinas. Kaya talagang hindi pwede nilang sabihin bias yan o Kita mo, halos panig pa nga nila for a long period of time. Kasi dinidefer, 2 taon na defer ang investigasyon just because nag-request sila. So we expect na pag ma-arrest na, for example, si Senator Bato de la Rosa, of course he will challenge the same things na naman. Hopefully, mas mabilis na ang pagresolba nito kasi ito yung last challenge ang jurisdiction pag natalo sila dito sa April 22 at sinabi ng ICC na may jurisdiction, halos tapos na yung laban diyan kumbaga. Trial na yan at kung may mga motion man sila to delay, tingin ko hindi na masyadong magdi-delay yan ng trial na ito.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney. Bobo Danis?
Okay, with that, Attorney Neri, maraming salamat po sa pagpapaliwanag ng mga proseso po na ito mula dyan sa International Criminal Court. Thank you so much.
Maraming salamat din po.
Kabombo at mga Kastar Nation, nakausap po natin ang isa sa mga abogado na mga biktima na nagsusulong ho ng reklamo laban kay former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, si Attorney Nery Colmenares ang atin hong nakausap sa pagkakataong ito. Bukas naman ang Bombo Radio Philippines para sa kampo nitong si former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte para naman sa ikalilinaw ng ilan pang mga usapin mula ho naman sa kanilang panig tungkol lalo na dito sa kinakarap na kaso sa International Criminal Court.
For the most trusted source of news and information, visit our website at www.bomboradio.com. Follow us on Bombo Radio mobile app, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and X, formerly Twitter. Like, share, and stay connected. Anytime, anywhere.